En nog een kie.
Okay, good morning. Good morning to you. You can have a seat. I will now. If somebody can just get
Oh.
some sand. Somehow.
Do you have a
Yeah, you can use this. And yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, welcome. Thank you so much for coming. Okay, so today, thank you very much. Right, so today I'm going to show you different techniques of how to plant seedlings, right? You get 4 types. You get tape, where you just use, it's called tape seeding, where you just use toilet paper, and then you get egg boxes, so you can plant in the egg boxes, and then you get the toilet roll holder, and then you get your 2-liter ice cream tub, where you just do your normal thing. So these are the different ways, so that if you don't have the one, you know how to do the other. Also, if you want to grow in different methods, you see which way works quicker. It is up to you, but today I'm just going to show you, and then you can start trying it at home, or we can start here after the work. Is that okay? Okay. But first, I want to show you. So when you start, you need to have everything ready. So we need to always be able to wash our hands. So I'm going to show you how to make a pressure tap, and then I'm going to show you how to make like a watering hose if you don't have one. Okay, so first I'm going to show you how to make the watering hose. You can take any bottle, but it must be squeezable. Okay, so then you will make holes in the cap like that. So then this is a form of irrigation. Especially if you don't have that, or if you just want to wash your hands, you can just squeeze the water out. But also in case of emergency, if you need to clean a wound or something, then you have this clean water with you all the time, and that will irrigate or clean out the wound, whatever the case may be, because you always need water with you. So it is important to have these things on hand. Okay, if someone can just pour some water in here for me, please.
Die onder die tafel is wat.
Yeah, there's lots of water somewhere. Okay, then the pressure tap. Sorry, we had to move a lot. So I'm now looking for my thing. Not seeing it. Where's the other? Oh, yes. Okay, so pressure tap. You would make a hole in the top. Of the bottle, big enough for a straw, and then you would make one on the side of the bottle. Thank you very much. So you make the hole. Ooh, I made it a bit now. But anyway.
Like that.
Like that. This effect is called the Venturi effect. So basically what it does is it displaces pressure. So show you now how it works.
That's ook omdat die man niet.
Mense het almal dit by die huis maak.
En nou
En
maar
dan gooi
hoef
jy dit ook weg.
nou maar hoef ons die bottels vir die teksters te gee. Ons kan dit sien wat dit
Yeah,
self
so you
gebruik.
can use the bottles. Oh, it's a very big straw. I couldn't find thin straws because I'd used it for other workshops. There we go.
It's difficult to find straws now or what?
Yeah.
Does the shop still have the
Where's
straws
the
there?
water?
Underneath
the
weet jy
toes.
nie.
Toe points. Is it?
Maar omdat ons 2 liters koop. So jy sien, straws in ons huis.
So we don't have there,
Ah.
really. So true.
I said if your hand is not steady.
No, you're doing quite well. Your aiming is a little bit up, but
As dit die sag, Davy.
Yes.
Is it the sight?
No, it's just that ek is mos hier skinker, ek was op
Okay,
dit
thank
skinker.
Okay,
No,
so
you're doing
basically,
is David okay?
Ek was net en ek altyd het probeer.
okay, so unfortunately
You
this
like it
hole
anyway.
I made
Yeah,
too
because
big.
it's
And so it's not working properly. But how this works is when you lift
That
this,
then
the water comes out and you can wash your hands.
Okay, so you're saving water.
Push it down, the water is supposed to
To
stop.
stop.
But because of this
Okay.
air, it's still pushing it out.
yeah.
So you can have a tap on hand outside wherever you are. Oh, I pushed this too. But anyway, you get the picture.
Yeah.
So that's how it works. So every time you want to open it, you pull the straw up, wash your hands, push it down again. And always make sure that the water is above where the straw is. So it's called the Venturi effect. You must always have water. Okay, it's very important to always have water when you are busy gardening. And this, as you know, works like that. Okay, so you use that instead of your watering can. So you can use any size bottles. It depends on what you need. So now to make a proper mixture of your sand or at least soil, health is the most important thing. If you have healthy soil, then you will have healthy vegetables. Okay, so you have to build your soil first before you do anything else. The soil mustn't be too sandy, it mustn't be too congregated, which is like stuck hard together. It needs to be
clay.
it
And not
needs to be a bit loose so that it can breathe
and
so that the
dry.
animals can move, because the animals is very important because they bring nitrogen and a lot of nutrition to the soil as well. They eat some of the fungus and all these things that affect, and the worms also pee and all of that, which is very good for the soil. So you need to have aerated soil. Your mixture must be 50% soil, 50% compost. If you buy potting soil, that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. If you buy potting soil, that's fine because it will be aerated, but always still add compost because compost will give the nutrients to the soil that it needs. So 50%, which will be like half.
So recently, are you going to plant in that container now?
Yes.
Are you going to plant? Do you make holes? Do you need? Don't
Oh
you?
yes, the holes.
Oh,
No,
but
but
the
I just
bottom.
I want to
Okay,
use this to first make the mixture and then
okay,
put it in
yeah.
there. Okay.
Can I make holes in
Yes,
one?
please,
Yeah.
if you don't mind. The compost. And now we put 50%.
Yeah.
I kiss my.
Oh, this compost is hard.
Is that organic? Or just normal?
This compost sometimes can also be used as mulch because it's there's a lot of woody pieces in it as well, so you can throw it on top as well. But it's got horse manure in it.
Horse manure.
mixture must
And I
always be
saw how they
50%, 50%.
and I saw how they made the compost there with the sieve. Yay!
And the coffee what do you call it?
Coffee grounds, yes.
Coffee ground.
That
Do you
also,
also mix with
no, the coffee grounds you can put in the soil
as because I just can work when I go out.
because that also gives
Oh,
the
you
soil
put the sugar.
nutrients.
Hmm.
But that we'll talk about another day. We'll talk about fertilizers and stuff like that.
Ek het nog al 'n pot koffie wat
Because you
nog eens
can't learn
aangemaak
everything in
is.
once. There's too much
Kan
to
mens daai
learn.
gebruik? Because
So
laat
we're
is
taking it
gewater
step
en
by
gooi.
step.
Nat.
But first we need to
And
grow
that is mos
the
niet.
seeds before
Maar
winter
sê in
really
'n
sets
pakkie
in.
nie.
Just ask Cindy, just so by the way, the coffee,
The coffee, I've got coffee,
ground coffee,
ground coffee that's dried, it's brand
hasn't been used.
fresh, yes. So how will I use that?
First use the coffee, and once it's used, that you use.
Oh,
So the coffee grinds is when they make cappuccino, whatever, in the machine.
but I'm not gonna make because I don't have a machine.
Why did you buy it?
Yeah,
No, I got it.
Oh.
because that's going to be a waste of coffee.
You
You can give it to me, please.
She has a machine.
Yeah, so then what the used
No
thing is,
problem.
then she can give that to us.
Yes,
Once
yes.
she's used it,
Yeah.
because the coffee
coffee
grinds is
grind.
Once our
amazing.
garden is going, we can get to the coffee.
We can throw it on any of the
In
stuff
the
that's
in the
growing.
dangers now, in the seedlings also.
Yes,
Oh, okay.
because it's fertilizer, so you're building the soil. Okay,
Just a
so
question, sorry Cindy, on that horse manure that's part of that compost. How healthy is that for fruit and veg?
extremely healthy because horses only eat grass,
Grass.
and organic
Carrots.
things. So
Uh,
anything organic
Yeah.
will feed the soil
Got
and
my
will
own.
feed the plant. So it's best. It's important to know where your source comes from so that you can know it's organic because you want to keep this as organic as possible because any GMO or pesticides or anything that might get in it will obviously come through the fruit and then the fruit will be tainted, the vegetables will be tainted and then your body will also take in the taint, the poisons. and
so we
so
are
forth.
not gonna go in the roads and look for horse manure.
No. Preferably, look, compost at these places like Soil for Life and in Varkensvlei and so on is quite cheap. It's cost effective. So you can maybe, but everybody can club to buy a big one and then just share it.
Yes,
You know?
yes, okay.
So, because you're not going to be putting on compost all the time. Maybe once a month or something, or depending on how bad the soil is. If you see the plants is lacking a bit, then you just give it a bit of nutrients. But that will discuss when we talk about fertilizers and so forth. So what is important is that you need to aerate whatever you're going to be putting your stuff in. So this got wet. So this is the egg carton that we're going to use. Now you can only use biodegradable materials. So this is biodegradable, this is biodegradable, this is biodegradable, which means it will break down into the soil. It will also feed the ground because it's healthy biodegradables. So you'll see when we do the actual trenching, you have to build the soil. So your soil health is what is most important to ensure that you have healthy vegetables. Because without soil health, your vegetables are might look nice, but they're not gonna be full of nutrition, which is what you actually want. So you will make little holes. You can use one of these or any pin
That you
because
must
it
get
needs
from
to
the glue.
drain. The water needs to drain.
Yeah,
Because otherwise it will cause mold and the plant can rot if it's overwatered. So the water needs to drain. What drains out is what the plant and the soil doesn't use. Okay? So always aerate whatever you are going to plant in. Now how we do this is cut it in 4. fold it in
To make a bottom.
to close the bottom. Okay, and this you can put straight into the ground once it has sprouted, because this will decompose. Okay. If you have time, you can fold it intricately so it doesn't do this, but what's important is that you just fold it like this, and then you make little holes in it as well. Even though it will seep through a little, but you just want to make sure that you have enough
The soil will stay there.
enough holes to get the water out.
Cindy, I'm sorted. This was so it's fine. I've got a lift for you now.
Okay, so you
That's
wonderful.
already 10 to 12 now.
sorry.
The time went quick now.
Yeah, it went really quick.
Yeah. Huh?
Ons het mos later gekom.
Is he gonna be okay?
Yeah, at House Antonio, because Antonio's busy studying, so he said no, it's fine, you can take a break now.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, man, I also just
So what you can do is you can take a piece of newspaper. Newspaper got wet now. And just put it at the bottom of one of these ice cream containers, because this is just to ensure that it grows right now.
Ja, jy moet almal bykom het ja.
So you put it at the
Dus dan is dat necessary to put in house in these.
yes,
The
yes,
bottom, yeah, once it's folded,
and then
so that it
in
can
your
be a
ice
safe.
cream container also put in holes.
yeah.
Right? And then you would pack however many you are going to make of these, you would then pack it in here
Okay.
and then water it every day. Okay, so now I'm just going to fold these things that we have done with the soil compost mixture.
I don't bring my sis.
Always know. You
Always scary.
bring
The next time I can bring.
Okay, so like I said, before you start, you always need to have everything ready.
Mix
It's always
those two
best,
half,
and then you
half.
can start like quickly. Millicent is busy cutting up the lids of the ice cream tins, because you need to label whatever it is that
Yes,
you're planting,
yes.
so that you know what is what.
And to write the date on as well, so you don't forget when the truth.
Yes. Okay, so can everybody see that? So that is how you fill it.
Yeah,
With the ice cream with the egg carton, you can write on here like what is what.
Onion.
Yes.
You know, so you don't need those,
Yes.
but in case this gets wet, it would be wise to do
Yeah.
that. Or sometimes some people, they just take this side off and they only work with the actual thing there. Okay, so that's the one.
So actually, it's very simple things that you can actually use to start out
Yes,
with your
you-
seedlings. You don't have to
see-
buy those
Yeah, you see,
plastic
the thing
seedlings.
is you need to learn to be sustainable, because part of the Three Angels message is to help people identify what is around them that they can use, because people, they think, oh, I'm stuck because I can't go buy this or I can't go buy that, but you're not stuck. There are things around you that you can use,
Can be used.
that can help you get to
Yes,
where you need to
yes.
go. It's called the ABCD method, asset-based community development, which is just helping the community or you as a person be able to identify what's around you and use it for what you need. So now we're going to take some soft paper, some tissue paper, and
Can it be any paper? Must it be something tissue?
it must be tissue,
Tissue.
because it must be soft. It must be able to absorb water, but
Okay.
also retain a little heat. You know what I mean? So when water's on here, then it gets moist and a bit warm. But when we are finished, we are going to put it into a plastic bag or something. So for this, you would gently sprinkle water on, right? Just plant some onions. Again, always label. So we're going to put some onions on here. If someone can maybe on the sticker write onions and today's date, please.
There's a pin.
Olie.
Okay.
Is that a permanent marker? Is one. Oh, okay. Because I also brought the permanent marker for those.
Yes. Great. Great. Okay, so now you would do it like one finger apart or two fingers. Right? So put one there, one or two at a time.
So if you want to see.
In the camera.
In the camera mirror.
Sorry.
Okay, so that's going to be enough. We just want to water it a little more.
In the camera mirror.
Debbie? Debbie?
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Come around here. Right, so now we would fold this over, gently flat it, and then you would make
So,
And fold it.
like that.
careful.
Okay. Now, where's the sticker? No, one is fine. I'm just showing you how to do it so you can do it at home. Okay, make one more, please. So that you know this is onion, but this is now a bit too wet. Where did I put it now? The empty packets. There we go. So let's just take one of these packets and we put the onion sticker on here. So again, don't be scared or anything if you don't have everything that you need, because just look around you and try and identify what you do have that you can use. Okay? Things that are similar to what you need and think, okay, maybe this will work for that. That's how most things were discovered. When you have problems and you don't have what you need, or what you need isn't working out, you try something new, or you make a mistake and you try something else, and then it actually works. That's how new things are discovered all the time. So don't be scared or angry or upset or whatever if you don't have. Always try and think out of the box as to what else you can use. So this is called the seed tape method. Okay, so this is one way that you can use it. If you don't have all of this, you can use any packet to put it in. You would just water it once a day, but very lightly, and this should take like 2 to 3 days to start sprouting. Put it in a warm, dark place so that it can mimic a humid environment. The packet will help a lot with the humidity, but yeah, just take it out, water it a little, even just throw the water in here if you can, whatever works for you, and then you do that. So after 3 days you can maybe unwrap it and then see there should be sprouting happening already. Once it's got sprouts, then you put it into soil so that it can start growing. But the chances of things growing in the ground is a lot less than if you first grow it in this type of medium, because this is a more controlled type of environment. So once you put it in the soil, then it will grow, and then it grows to about 3 or 4 leaves, and then you can put it, transplant it into the ground. But it also gives you time to prepare your ground and to build your soil. The soil health is very important. Okay, so the next one we're going to do is this. I'm just going to I'm going to plant 2 things. I'm going to plant 3 beetroot and 3 spinach, and then I'm going to write it here.
And it's already holding the eggshells.
Yes.
Okay. ek het nou die hele trui gekoop, so ek het nou baie. Ek moet hulle merk.
Please, you need to mark. Marking is important. What is today's date? 26.
26. Yeah, and with
Okay,
the
so see, this is how I labeled it. So I know the top row is the spinach,
Spinach.
which will be this. The bottom row is the beetroot.
Okay.
So we just want to wet it just a little. Spinach. Okay. So this is how the spinach looks.
Uh-huh.
Luckily green.
And maybe just throw two
Maar
or
jy moet dit
three
dan
on it.
soep sit.
And then you press it
kos
down.
patties sit in.
What you can first, like, dip your finger in and then throw it in the hole. It depends on you what is easier. Some people like to do that first and then pinch it close. Other people like to do this, press it down and then close it.
how deep, Cindy?
Just a half a finger. Because it mustn't be too deep,
Yeah.
but it mustn't also be right on top. Okay, so it just needs to be half a finger. Okay?
Half a finger? Half a finger.
Of a 2-inch.
In a small thing like this.
Yeah.
Mm.
Like half the, like
The
here?
first
No,
first round.
Half of the first.
The nail, like the
Of the
nail
first.
part.
Yes, the nail part.
The nail
Yeah,
part.
the
Because,
nail
yeah.
part,
nail
press it in as deep as the nail
Yes.
part. In
Niet
something
eerst
bigger
lood.
like this,
Ja,
Lood, ja.
you would use, like, you can go up to half the finger because there's more depth. Okay, so it depends on how shallow it is that you are working with. Right?
You can actually go, I can take you home. This must op my way.
It's fine, Satan. He's marking in the car. It's okay. He needs a bit of sunshine.
Yes, a
It's a
40,
good mood enhancer.
40 minutes.
It's okay.
Not more.
It's all right.
Actually, you need about 2 hours minimum.
But
To get
not,
the proper,
but
to
not,
get the
but not
proper-
on mekaar.
Yes, to get the proper amount of vitamin D that your body needs. Because all your building blocks, all your cellular functions need vitamin D in order to work. So you need as much vitamin D as possible,
Yeah.
up to 6 hours if possible.
For the day.
Yeah, for the day. For
Okay.
the day. Okay, so now we've pressed it in and now we are going to water it again. Right, now what you can do is you can close it and put it in a packet. Okay, you can put it in a packet just to once again create
Warmth.
that warm, moist environment, and then you can label the packet. Okay, so if
Also.
someone can just write beetroot and spinach in today's date on that packet. Okay, now we're going to show you. Let's just make another tool. Four.
So these are
En jy moet nog die datum keep.
When you are
The
growing
datum and
directly, so certain seeds need to be planted directly in the ground. That is stuff like beans and so forth. So, and carrots. Carrots need to go straight into the ground. So when you plant directly into the ground, if it is beans, you put the beans in this first. So you put this into the ground like that, and then make sure that it's full to the top. Then you press the bean in here, but it must be in the ground. Carrots, you just sprinkle in, you make a little line, sprinkle, and then close. Okay, carrots, beans must go directly in the ground. Most other stuff can be planted like this.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so I'm just gonna. Oh, these scissors.
Look at here. That's all of that big cut now.
Hier's 'n woord, hier's wat did jy die woord?
Onions.
Oh, it was onions. Ek sien nou net die
How's your onion?
onderste boon, nou sien ek het.
How's your onion?
Onion.
So you push that right into the ground all together. Nothing should be standing
like
on
this
top.
much can stick out,
Okay.
Okay.
but majority of it must be
Must
under
in
the
the
ground.
ground.
In the ice cream thingy.
I'm looking for that pin. My goodness.
Alles getooi.
Jy het dit net daar,
I
ja.
know, but now it's
Sien jy wanneer jy daai glue koop om die mondjie op te druk, dan kry jy daai dingetje. En ons gooi dit weg. Ons moet dit hou.
yeah, keep all these little things.
Ons gaan weer rubbish op pile by ons huis.
So why do we make holes in it? Can somebody tell me?
For ventilation,
For drainage.
for drainage.
Irrigation.
Yes.
And ventilation.
And ventilation, yeah.
Plain just for air.
And just for air.
That's
Yes.
not as simple as just putting sand and the seed in and
Nee, sy het maar ek het hom sê,
Say.
maar die driver het gebly.
No, this is a drive.
Morning. Yes, ons goed. Ja. Ons is right.
Okay, so now what we will do is we will now put this into these little containers. So it's best to work in the container so that whenever you are messing, it goes right through. I mean, all it out, but it's still in the container that you.
Cindy, can I just add some? Sure. It all depends where you get your soil from, compost from. And if you get it out of the ground, just sift it first. Because there's a lot of stones as well.
Yes,
In the soil. No, you can
my
use
garden,
you can use the potato, the orange bag as well, and the onion bag.
Yes.
Yeah,
Because for stuff like carrots that root
yeah.
plants, they need to grow down. So anything that is in the way will make them either stop growing or deform or whatever. So you need to sift the soil so that there's no stones.
And also add, you know, the mold must push up the sand. But when the sand is dark, that means you went high down, 6'6" you went to push up that sand.
Molds are very important, eh?
Yes.
Part of the
And
ecosystem.
that is a good sand, eh, Cindy?
Is that a good sand? But ours is
They
so
just
Not
dry.
a green, how much is not a green?
Yes, apparently it is good sand.
Is it good
Cindy.
sand?
Yeah.
Mine is very
I don't know.
dry.
And it looks very nice. My sand that they push up, yo, it looks very healthy.
I would think so. I mean, you put in a lot of effort in your ground.
Yeah, because soil health is what is most important.
Yeah.
So your plants will be healthy as long as your soil is healthy. Okay, I'm going to put beetroot in all of these. Yes, please.
I'm all done with the stubbles.
Where's
Sy is
the
skrywer.
that you made?
Do you need more of those toilets?
Yeah, can you please write on the strips beetroot? Okay, so now we've written the beetroot and now we will cover it together.
There's the strips over there, don't. What you get? Toilet holders.
You're done with the toilet papers?
I
Yeah.
wasn't at home the whole week, so I had only one toilet roll when I came home.
So I've been stocking up for like a year already.
My toilet roll, this is in my compost bin. I throw every Tuesday. I throw in my compost bin. So I grab out these few now. Before that goes in the compost.
Okay, so now it's just
So ik
just beetroot.
beetroot.
And so
And I go through
when we use, okay, I'll get to that now. So now we will water this.
Ik heb het dan zo mooi.
You see the,
Okay, yeah.
that's what I mean. It just disappears on you. Okay, so this is now how you do the toilet roll holders. Okay.
Okay.
So then it will start growing. Once it gets 3 or once it gets about 4 leaves, then you know, okay, and it takes normally, okay, in winter it will take 3 to 6 weeks to germinate and grow to that length.
And what
But
did
in
you put in
summer
there?
it can take 2 weeks.
What did you put in there? Nothing yet.
Yes, I put beetroot.
Beetroot.
Yes. So we fill it like 3/4 of a way. We put the seeds in and then we fill it a little more. Okay. And then, yes. So that you will put right there. Yeah, you can put it in
In
there.
the
And that will tell you what the plant is and what date you planted it. Now the last method that I'm going to show today. Oh, this doesn't have holes. Do you have one with holes?
yeah. Oh,
Thank you. Okay, so you will make holes once again to aerate and to drain. So we will now put our compost and sand mixture in. How much must the compost and how much must the sand be?
Half.
50-50. That's correct. You can just put a little more compost in. You can never have too much compost. Because it's food for the soil. Right?
See, ons mos nie. Want hy sê baie is 'n stukkie wat jy wil
No, it's fine. It will dissolve with the water.
Okay.
yeah, that's the manure.
Yeah, that's the What you can also do is these pieces, you can throw it in a jug with water and let it stand for about 4 to 6 weeks, and that will make manure fertilizer.
Ah.
And then you will feed that to your plants once a week. But okay, we'll do.
And banana water.
Get there.
We'll
lots
get
of
there.
peel
Yes,
water.
yes.
Fertilizer,
We'll get
yeah.
there. So at this stage, you don't really need fertilizer. You just want it to grow. The fertilizer will come once the leaves and everything more. When it's in the ground, then you'll start fertilizing. You can a little, but yeah. What you can also do with this is you can throw a little cinnamon on the top. That helps with mold and yeah, little insects. It deters them when it's starting to grow. Yeah, take it.
I think this one is also in its
Oh, that
in
is
its
mine.
toilet
Yeah,
roll.
yeah. Thank you.
Good.
Just give me some water.
And don't forget to eat one a day.
What is that? Only one.
What?
Yes,
Of what?
You don't want to kill your plant.
Oh,
Speckworm.
they
So
say you
in
can
the week we made chutney with it.
Is it?
Corn chutney.
Lekker.
Very healthy for you. You can use it. It's almost it's very rich in vitamin C and it's got a lot of
Yeah.
nutrients. So you can saute it, you can fry it, you can use it in place of spinach,
Yeah.
in salads,
In a
as
salad,
is.
yeah, as is.
But most importantly, when you are dehydrated, it also helps with inflammation and arthritis.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a lot of medicinal properties.
And
Down
if you
my
have a, and
neighbor
if you have a
that has.
if you have a big one, 6 a day in the morning. I heard that, yeah.
Six leaves.
Yeah, 6 leaves. It's much more.
Nou kan ek
Eat
nie breakfast eet nie. Hoef ek nie breakfast te eet nie.
No, you
Yeah,
need
it's
breakfast.
very
It's
good.
very important to have
Okay, so now you can now put all the plants in a tub like this. Okay, so what you will do is you will make 5 rows going down with your finger. I don't know if you want to see, but anyway, the rows are there. If someone can just write beetroot, onion, carrots, spinach, whatever. Well,
You have
actually,
it
I'm
in
just
the-
going to make 4. We're not going to put carrots in here.
You have
but
it on the strips.
because carrots you can't transplant. It needs to be where you're going to grow it. That's where you need
Just
it.
there.
Okay.
Okay.
So we're going to put spinach in the first row. So,
And today's date, baby.
in today's steak. So how you would do this is, you would
Well, are you writing?
just throw it like that. All along your line. Okay, so first we did spinach.
Spinach.
Next we're going to do onions.
Onions. And then spinach, onions, and
Spinach, onions, beetroot. The beetroot actually grows big, so you want to space it just a little. Beetroot, onions, spinach. No cabbage here. Cabbage. Okay, cabbage.
cabbage.
Cabbage takes a lot of maintenance because the birds and the insects like to eat the cabbage. So you have to watch the cabbage like really well.
And water also. Lots of water.
As it's growing, I mean when the fruit, when the vegetable, sorry, actually starts growing, you have to watch. Okay, so now you would pinch it close like this.
And you wait till it was nice and big.
So these are your markers. Once again, always make sure that it is a permanent marking writing with what the plant's name is and what the date is, and you would put it there in the row that you did.
And then we had beetroot, and then we had onion, and then
Okay.
spinach.
So we would now water it a little, slightly. And then if you have mulch at home, and I didn't bring mulch, but if you have mulch, you can then throw mulch over it.
What is
Mulch? Mulch is like pieces of wood, hay, leaves, dry leaves,
Kaya nog okay also.
yeah,
and
bark,
top.
leaves, bark, stuff like that.
Rocks, yes.
You would throw that on because it keeps the soil moist and favorable conditions, so that you don't need to water it all the time, and so that it creates a favorable environment for the plant to actually grow. So mulch is your friend, especially when you can't water a lot. Another thing that I wanted to show was how to make like an irrigation system for something like this. You would take a bottle and you would make a hole in it, and you would put an earbud. So you would cut the one point of the earbud off, and then the one with the cotton wool on would be outside, so you would put that in there, and then you'd fill it with water. And then you make some kind of stand, or you can just stick it on here like this, and then it will drip.
All
This
the
is for-
time.
All the time, it will constantly drip. So this is when you can't water every day, but you know the plants need the watering, so you would use a small bottle, maybe 250 ml or something, and try and put it wherever you plant it, so that it ensures that it gets to all the seeds. And you would put them like that, just stick them, make some kind of makeshift thing to make it just stand upside down, and it will constantly drip water in.
Sorry, when I didn't. Did you say you put cotton?
The cotton wool.
wool?
No, no.
No.
The earbud.
Oh, it's an earbud.
The
So there's most cotton wool on it.
Yes,
earbud.
yes,
So
yes.
you cut the earbud in
In
half, and you put the piece in here, and with the piece with the cotton wool would be on the edge. So you fill this with water, and it will slowly drip water whole day. So then the plant will get water all day. This is if you can't water every day on time. So preferably you would water twice a day, but because it's cold now, you don't need to water twice a day. Once is enough. But you can see. So you would leave this in a sunny place, preferably outside. And because it's not cold yet, I would say water twice a day, so in the morning and in the evening, but before the sun sets. Okay, because it needs to still have some sun to absorb. Otherwise, it will be too cold, and then It might make the whole situation very cold and then the plants can die from hypothermia or something. So that is how you basically, different methods of how to plant and what to use when you don't have tubs or pot plants or planter boxes or anything like that. Use these things that you will have every day in your house because these are everyday items. Maybe not the ice cream tubs, but maybe your margarine tubs you can even use as well.
Yeah.
So always try to be sustainable in what you are doing. Always try and look around you and keep things like toilet roll holders and your egg cartons. Now your egg shells, also try and keep that because that you will use for fertilizer because it gives calcium. So if you have eggshells, you can throw it on here, but it won't really help because it's more a long-term process. It takes long to break down. But it is a deterrent to snails and stuff like that. So you could crush an eggshell and put it over here, but it's not necessary at this stage. So once again, you wait about 2 weeks and you should see growth starting to happen. But if you want to incubate the process, then you would use the taping method. Okay, because the taping method sort of creates like an incubation, so it would make it grow quite fast. And then once you see the little stem, then you put it in your wares. In the soil, it might take a little longer to grow for the stem to come out and all of that stuff.
Can you put your eggshells in water and then water your plants?
You can, but it's not really going to help because like I said, the eggshells take long for the calcium to break down and decompose from the eggshell.
But what about
itself. So what you can do is you can boil it. The eggshells, you can boil it, and that water you can use as a calcium fertilizer. What you can also use is eggshells put in vinegar. That sort of speeds up the whole process. That you can also use as fertilizer. And then the eggshells that you didn't use, you can also use it as to clean pots and stuff because it's an abrasive. So it can help you clean pots and those things, difficult stains and stuff like that. You can use it for that also. So always try, and because what we need to remember is these things we are learning for the time of trouble, so that you know how to use what is around you when you don't have these things anymore. So get into the habit now, becoming sustainable in looking around you and seeing what can you use instead of or to replace. Because for example, there's a lot of plants around that you can actually use to substitute in your food, which is very nutritious, healthy, lots of vitamins, minerals and so forth. And like there's dandelions I see, which is very good for your liver. There's plantain, which you can eat and use as spinach. Some types of grass you can also eat that is very nutritious. So it's about learning these things so that you can learn what is sustainable, because just because you don't have stuff that you're used to that is store-bought food doesn't mean that you have to go hungry. God bless us with many resources that we just need to learn how to use them, and we can then pass that knowledge on to other people, and in so doing you are spreading because ultimately we need to do whatever we can to help people prepare for what is coming. Any question?
Yeah, Cindy, I want to ask about the covering, especially when you have a sudden rain during the night. And if you have animals around to cover your spaces.
Well, normally rain is fine during the night because it will just dry out anyway. So it shouldn't cause too much havoc.
Okay.
But I would say if you see it's gonna rain, rather bring it inside. And cover. The animals and the birds will only start eating once there's leaves. So right now it shouldn't be a problem. But if you do see certain animals or something, maybe just throw a little. Thank you. Maybe just throw a little cinnamon over. That should deter it for now. If you see snails around, then throw the eggshells because that also stops snails. Because it will cut the soft.
Ik heb baie geleer. Ik het nou vandag gehad.
Ja.
Because you know, I use my potato peels, that peels and that. Ik het nou in my dinges gehad, kool, klein kool, wat die baie groei nie. Nogal nice natuurlijk. Ik het net afgedinges, was het gesnit. En hy het soep en het also, van die pitte wat ek so daar in die dinges gegooi het, en met sand en so, en met die koffie grinder, die koffie met sand. Dit is so. But what ek nou oplet, I don't know what veg that was, but it grew so nicely. No, that's niks, I had niks aan doen. Ek het 'n poppel mee, ja.
Wow.
En ek het put chilies en ek put some basil. En ek wil van my basil gebring het, so that we can, because hy dinge se lekker of het nou kan. Jy kan hom nou plant, jy weet. Wat jy so aftrek wat nou is net wat? Saad.
Saad, ja.
Saad, ja. Saad.
Okay.
Ja, maar smell so. But ek het nou baie geleer how to the half of 50-50 of the sands. And ja, hoe om te plant, want ek maak net 'n groot
So, yeah,
and then I
so
throw
always
everything in
remember,
there.
always remember, soil health is most important. So if your soil is not healthy, it might grow once, but it's not really going to be productive. So you want long-lasting soil that will regenerate your vegetables
Ek
all
sal
the
net
time.
ek hou van my
So it is very important to build your soil health. So when we do have starter trenches or when we do have planter boxes and we're going to do that, we will build the soil, which is where we will need extra cartons, extra this, because all these things and the green grass and the brown leaves and tins, eggshells, stuff like that, because all of those are different levels of nutrients that the soil needs to build to become a very healthy soil. So that is very important to always focus on getting your soil right, and then anything will grow healthy and full of nutrients, which is ultimately what you want. Okay, so I think that's it for today.
So Cindy,
So much.
so we have a week to